Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Suparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Guru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Murari Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
You can carry ahead with the directing the class, the discussion.
Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Prabhupada. Today we are doing the Srimad Bhagavatam as we continue this beautiful book, this discourse. And today we are doing the Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, the status quo, chapter 15, description of the kingdom of God. And today we are doing verse 39. In such great association of Her Grace Rasa Sundari, we can continue.
Okay, so we'll continue with the same style that we usually do. I'll do the Sanskrit. The translation is quite long, so one devotee can read the translation. And the purport is also long, so another devotee can do the purport. So we are on chapter Canto 3, chapter 15, description of the kingdom of God, text 39. Krishna prasada samukam sprihaniya dhamma sneha valoka kalaya didi samsprishantam shame pratavu rasisho vidya shrayasvash churamanirso bhagayantamivatmadishnyam. Now one devotee can read the translation and another the purport.
I can read the translation. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Ki Jai.
Okay.
The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction, and His affectionate, smiling, and glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and His broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world, the summit of all heavenly planets. Thus, it appears that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Another devotee can kindly take us through the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the Lord came, He was pleased with everyone. Therefore, it is stated here, Krishna Prasada Sumukham. The Lord knew that even the offensive doormen were his pure devotees, although by chance they committed an offense at the feet of other devotees. To commit an offense against a devotee is very dangerous in devotional service. Lord Chaitanya therefore said that an offense to the devotee is just like a mad elephant run loose. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it tramples all the plants. Similarly, an offense onto the feet of a pure devotee murders one position in devotional service. On the part of the Lord, there was no offended mood because he does not accept any offense created by his sincere devotee. But a devotee should be very cautious of committing offenses at the feet of another devotee. The Lord, being equal to all and being especially inclined to his devotee, looked at mercifully at the offenders as at the offended. This attitude of the Lord was due to his unlimited quantity of transcendental qualities. His cheerful attitude towards the devotees was so pleasing and heart-touching that his very smile was attractive for them. That attraction was glorious, not only for all the higher planets of this material world, but beyond, for the spiritual world also. Generally, a human being has no idea of what the constitutional position is in the higher material planet, which are far better constituted in regard to all paraphernalia. Yet the Vaikuntha planet is so pleasing and so celestial that it is compared to the middle jewel or locket in the necklace of jewels. In this verse, the word sprihaniya dhamma indicates that the Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure because he has all the transcendental qualities. Although only some of these are aspiring for by persons who hanker after the pleasure of merging in the impersonal Brahman, there are other aspirants who want to associate with the Lord personally as his servants. The Lord is so kind that he gives shelter to everyone, both impersonalists and devotees. He gives shelter to the impersonalists in his impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas he gives shelter to the devotees in his personal abode, known as Vaikuntha. He is especially inclined to his devotees. He touches the core of the heart of devotee simply by smiling and glancing over him. The Lord is always served in the Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, as stated by the Brahma Samhita. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrahma Se Yamavanam. In this material world, one is glorified if he is favored even a pinch by the goddess of fortune. So we can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. Another feature of this verse is that it openly declares where the Vaikuntha Loks are situated. They are situated at the summit of all the heavenly planets, which are above the sun globe, at the upper limit of the universe, and are also known as Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. The spiritual world is situated beyond the universe. Therefore, it is stated here that the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, is the summit of all planetary systems. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Thank you very much, Mataji, for nicely reading the purport, and Murari Prabhu for reading the translation. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let's begin the discussion. But before I begin, I would like to first of all offer my respectful obeisances and to the lotus feet of my supremely merciful spiritual master, and to his spiritual master, and to Srila Prabhupada, and all the acharyas in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and I beg their mercy that I can be a useful instrument in their service. I would also like to beg all of your blessings, dear Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, who are present in today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion, and I seek your mercy that whatever I say can be of progress in our devotional lives, and it can get us purified. Asalu salutarayu natini chochatakara anamun chakara chinmam premnarit kantayusfuram. So we are continuing hearing the description of the kingdom of God as Brahmaji is describing to the demigods who were in darkness in the heavenly planets because of the demoniac children of Diti and Kashyapa Muni. So he was describing how when the four Kumaras they went to Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, they were stopped at the seventh gate by the two doormen, Jai and Vijay. And they were very surprised. In the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha, there should be no duality. So why are these doormen stopping us? In Vaikuntha, there is no enemy and friends. There is no question of an enemy going to see the Supreme Lord. So why are we being stopped? These doormen, they must be imposters. So we should kick them out of Vaikuntha. They do not belong here because they have a conception of duality, Dvadva. So they cast them. And as they were casting them, the two doormen, they realized that they were going to be cast and they were very repentful. And therefore, as the scene was happening, the Supreme Lord came to see what was happening. He came to intervene for his devotees. And that's where we are at today's verse. Because now Brahmaji has been explaining in detail the glory or the description of Vaikuntha planet. And especially in today's verse, is describing the Supreme Lord, the description of the Lord. Let's go over the translation again. That the Lord is a reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence, when he went there, it was meant for everyone's benediction, both the offended and the offenders, the four Kumaras and the two, Jai and Vijay, the two offenders. And he went there and he was smiling, and he was glancing, and his glance was soothing his devotees. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that the Lord's smiling face and glance, this satisfies his devotees to the core of their heart. The devotees of the Lord, they do not seek great wealth. They do not seek liberation. They do not seek beautiful women or material prosperity. They just want the satisfaction of the Lord, and that comes from serving Him. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the Sikshastakam, the fourth verse, does anyone know how the fourth verse of the Sikshastakam goes? We recite the Sikshastakam every morning. No one. Who remembers the fourth verse of the Sikshastakam? Should I save myself the trouble of waiting? Or is it that I'm
Mataji,
inaudible?
is it Keto Darpanam? Because that's the only verse I know.
Okay. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Sorry,
Prasanna
Mataji.
Prabhu.
Maybe I can try.
Yes, please.
Vichna Madana Sundari
Uh,
Kavichanga Jagadishwari Namadana Manishwari
mm.
Bhavata Bhakti
I hide to
Bhai
keep.
to keep.
Thank you very much. What does it mean? And your audio is not very clear, Prabhu.
Okay. Translation. Can I remember? Let me try. Sundari. Oh my Lord, I do not desire something about desiring beautiful women. I do not desire opulences, material wealth. I only desire to be your servant. I can just place it like that's life after life. I don't know the direct translation.
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much. We should learn all these things. The Sikshastakam prayers are the only prayers that were left by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the greatest scholar of his time. But he did not leave any books. He did not leave any writings other than the Sikshastakam prayers, the 8 prayers. Yes, he instructed Rupa Goswami, he instructed Sanatan Goswami. He asked Gopal Bhatt Goswami to write books. He asked all the Goswamis to write books and he instructed them. But himself, he did not pen anything down other than the 8 verses of the Sikshastakam. And actually, all the writings of the Goswamis and other devotees after are only to expound on these 8 verses. So this is the basis of our movement. So every devotee should know all the verses of the Sikshastakam by heart, by mind, and by heart. There is a difference between those two. There is a difference between knowing something by mind and knowing by heart. Knowing by mind is when you cram, and you can say it like a parrot. But knowing by heart is when you know the meaning and when you have some realization from it. But it has to begin with knowing how to read it, getting it in your mind, and then it will come to your heart. So getting back to today's verse, so I was saying the devotees of the Lord, they do not seek anything other than the service of the Lord. Because by serving the Lord gets to smile and glance at them, and the devotees are just satisfied with this. So the Kumaras and Jai and Vijay, they received the Lord's glance, and the Lord was happy. He was there to, to review the situation. And Brahmaji goes on to explain the description of the Lord that he was there because these two had committed an offense. Now we come to the situation of Vaishnava Parad. The first offense against chanting of the holy names of the Lord is Vaishnava Parad. And it is compared to an elephant, a mad elephant. Where I come from, in my village, like 4 villages ahead, it's Mount Kenya area, so they are very near the mountain. Around 4 villages from my village, they are very near the mountain, and they complain every year. They complain because now there are not so much complaints because the forest has been fenced by KWS, Kenya Wildlife Services. But before, they used to complain so much because the elephants would get out and they would plunder everything in the garden. If it was maize, beans, bananas, everything, the entire plantation would go. Therefore, bhakti or devotional service, when it is being performed, it is compared to a garden. Your heart is compared to a garden where bhakti lata, the creeper of devotion, is growing. But if you perform Vaishnava Parad, you offend Vaishnavas. Then this Vaishnava Parad is compared to bringing a lion, bringing an elephant in your garden. It's going to take the creeper and it's going to uproot it. It's going to plunder all your good qualities. Your bhakti will be finished. Therefore, the first and dangerous offense against chanting the holy name of Krishna is to avoid Vaishnava Parad. If you are committing Vaishnava Aparadh, then your bhakti will have no taste. If you are committing Vaishnava Aparadh, offending devotees, then you will find you do not want to chant. And your bhakti will go down and down and down, it will diminish. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, commenting on that book of Rupa Goswami, he has outlined different types of Vaishnava Aparadh. Number one is Hanti, physically assaulting a Vaishnava. Because we live in devotee communities and sometimes things get quite hot. Because we are human beings. It is said as long as beings are together or human beings are together, it's just like stones in a bag. There must be friction between them. It's expected. Because they have different rough edges. Similarly, we human beings, we have different natures. Someone is more in the mode of passion, another one is more in the mode of ignorance, another one is more in the mode of goodness. And they are always competing against one another, these three modes of material nature. So therefore, people will clash in their interactions. And it happens in devotee communities also. But no matter how serious the interaction, a devotee should never physically assault another devotee. No matter how heated or angry you are, you should never raise your hand to slap a devotee or to hit a devotee. When that happens, then all the fault comes on you. That's a great offense, to physically assault a devotee. Lord Chaitanya, he sent Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu to preach. And they were preaching to Jai and Vijay, but not Jai and Vijay in Vaikuntha. This Jai and Vijay, they came to engage in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya voluntarily. And they wanted to glorify they wanted to glorify the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Nityananda, how he is Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the most fallen. So they came and they were the most fallen personalities. There is no offense that Jai and Vijay, in the form of Jagai and Madai, had not committed in Navadvip. It is said in Yamaraj's office, their books were this big, of all the offenses they had committed. Chitragupta was wondering, what do we do? What do we do? The books are just increasing of all the offenses Jagai and Madai have done. Yet when Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur were sent, Nityananda was very keen to deliver these two brothers. He was like, if these two can be delivered, then people will really see the potency of the holy name and the power of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So we must get them delivered. But when they were trying to preach to them, Madai hit Nityananda Prabhu with a broken pot, and he began bleeding. He physically assaulted him. Immediately, when Lord Chaitanya heard that, immediately he came there with his chakra, ready to kill the two brothers. But Lord Nityananda is very merciful. He told him, no, in this yuga, you have not come to kill with chakra. In this yuga, your weapon is the holy name of Krishna. So please, don't kill them with your chakra. You should deliver them. You are the deliverer of the fallen in this yuga. So the two brothers were delivered. But that was a great offense. Hanti, to physically assault a devotee, never do. When it happens, all the fault comes to you. And because Jagai had not assaulted Lord Nityananda, Nityananda told him, see, Jagai, he did not assault me. He was telling his brother he should not physically assault me. And Lord Chaitanya embraced him and gave him all his mercy. Afterwards, Madai, the one who had hit, who drew the pot, he begged for forgiveness. But he was told the only person who can forgive you is who? It is Nityananda Prabhu who can forgive you. And you go to the Ghat, to the Ganga. And in a Ghat there, you sit there and you seek forgiveness from everyone. Because he had committed a great offense. The other Vaishnava Parath is Nindati, blaspheming devotees, criticizing devotees, talking ill about devotees. This is a great Vaishnava Parath. And another Vaishnava Parath is Dveshti, envy, bearing internal malice about a devotee. We are envious of them. That's also part of Vaishnava Parath. Outwardly, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, but in the heart, hey, look at him. See the way he puts his roti. Look at him, he thinks, or she thinks she is so great. This is great Vaishnava Parath. We should abstain from this. If we have this envy, we should confess. We should confess to this devotee. We should pray to Guru and Krishna and to the holy name to deliver us from this type of dveshti, envy. Nabhinindanti is another type of Vaishnava Parath. Failure to offer proper respect to a devotee. In the Nectar of Instruction, it is said, how should one offer respect or how should one interact with a devotee? With anyone who has chanted the holy name of the Lord even once, we should respect them in the mind. Even if they have chanted the holy name of the Lord, to one who has taken Vaishnava initiation and is worshipping the deities, has taken Brahman Diksha, when we see them for the first time, we should offer pranams physically on the floor. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Because not only are they chanting, but they have also committed their lives to the path of bhakti, and they have taken shelter of a devotee, a guru, who is a representative of Krishna. So we should offer respects to them physically. And to one who does not criticize others, who is performing Uttama Bhakti, high Bhakti, then we should serve them and we should take association from them. And we should offer them all respect, irrespective of their background, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their age, and other material designations. If they are highly qualified devotees, we should serve them, we should associate with them, and aspire to be like them. So you should know the categories of the devotees and always offer proper respects to all devotees. Failure to do so is considered an aparath. And then another Vaishnava aparath, krudyate. This is unnecessarily venting anger at the devotees. No matter what devotees do, don't vent your anger at them. Cool down somewhere, go chant your rounds, read Bhagavad Gita, read the Bhagavatam. When you cool down, then you can come and say, Prabhu, I don't think this was very nice of you to do. You should. So, venting anger at the devotees is not good. Because sometimes anger gets the best of us. We shout at them in our anger. We do all types of crazy things when we are angry. It said when you are angry, walk away. Then when you cool down, reason nicely. Otherwise, you are going to make decisions that you are going to regret. And the last form of Vaishnava Parad is Nahar Shamyati, feeling or feeling unhappy when you see a devotee. Sometimes we are not in good terms with devotees and we see them, we are like, Now, where has this one come from? You want to look up, or you want to look down, or you want to change the route? That is also Vaishnava path. We should feel happy when we see devotees. How many people in the world are chanting Hare Krishna? How many people in the world know who Krishna is? How many people? We have billions of people in the world, and devotees. I don't think we are even a million. Thousands maybe, yes, but those who know about the process of Krishna consciousness and are serious about it are very few. So when you should see a devotee, whether you are happy or not, you see the dhoti, the kurta, the sari, tilak. You should be very happy when you see a devotee. Personal issues, that time you should keep them aside. You can deal with them afterwards. But at least say Hare Krishna to them. Sometimes we are so, not devotees that we do not say Hare Krishna to each other. Anyway, that's why we are not devotees. We are practicing devotees. Bhakta Praya. There is Praya. Praya means we are not yet there. So we are Bhakta Praya, or rather practicing devotees. When we really become Bhaktas, devotees, then all these problems will not be there. So, but the Lord, despite whether one is offensive or inoffensive, He is preaching to all of them. That is what Brahmaji is saying today. That He came there because He is the reservoir of all pleasure. Akira Rasamrita Murti, Raso Vaisaha. There are different types of relationships that anyone can have with the Lord. One can be a servant of the Lord in neutrality. One can be a servitor of the Lord, Dasyam. One can be a friend of the Lord, Sakyam. Another one can be a friend of the Lord, a devotee of the Lord as a parent, Vatsalya. Another one can be a lover, or can be the wife of the Supreme Lord. And there are many more. There are 7 more. These are only 5 primary. There are 7 more relationships that are described in the last part of the Nectar of Devotion. You should go and check it out, the Nectar of Devotion. It's called the Complete Science of Bhakti Yoga. All devotees should master this. Then you'll practice your devotional service very nicely. So because Krishna, He is the reservoir, or rather is the source of all these mellows, or all these rasas, all these relationships. And whatever problems they are there with us, everything comes from Him, is the source of everything. So especially whenever there is a problem between His devotees, somehow He is there to interfere and see a proper way for the offender and for the offended. So He came to intervene in the case of Jai and Vijay, because we were about to be cast by the 4 Kumaras. So He came for the benefit of the Kumaras and also for the benefits of Jai and Vijay. Yeah, because He is pleased with everyone's service. He is very pleased that the Kumaras want to see Him. But also He is not neglectful of the service that the 2 Domen have been doing for Him in guarding the Vaikuntha planet. It is said, whatever service you do to the Lord, even if it is just a little bit, there is no loss nor diminution. That is in Bhagavad Gita. Whatever small service you do for the Lord, He takes that into account. Draupadi, one time Krishna was hurt, and she just tore her sari and tied on the wood of Krishna. Such a small thing. She didn't even think about it. But Krishna took it into great account. When the time came and she was dragged into the assembly of the Kurus to be disrobed, and she was going to be humiliated in the entire assembly, Krishna supplied millions of meters of saris. Although he had just received even not a mita, small cloth of her sari she had given to him, and he gave to her 100 times. It is said, whatever you give to Krishna becomes multiplied. Every day, everyone can attest, ISKCON Prasadam is very nice. Why? Because it is offered to the Lord. It is the same food that is cooked outside in the world. There we offer rice, dal, sabji. But because Krishna enjoys it, it becomes multiplied, that it becomes very, very relishable. This you can experience on your day-to-day basis. So the Supreme Lord is very pleased with any service anyone does. So he's usually there. If you have done any service, no matter how small, he'll not let that go to waste. So he was there for the two domain because they had been performing service in Vaikunta. Although they were going to be cast, he was not going to let it go into vain, their service go into vain. So whatever service you have done to Krishna, don't think you have wasted your time. Whether chanting is working or whether you are reading, you are not understanding, relationships with devotees are not working out. Sometimes it seems as if there is really nothing of worth that is there in bhakti. But never get disappointed. Even a little bit of advancement in the path of Krishna consciousness, it can save one from the greatest danger. Because Krishna never forgets. He never forgets. And he has declared to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, declare it boldly. Pratigi atava Govinda, name bhakta pranashyati. You declare boldly that my devotee will never perish. Whether you are a devotee for a day, a minute, or 100 years. Krishna's devotee, they never perish. And so where is this Vaikunta? We can see that in the description of Brahma, he is describing where the Vaikunta planet, where it is situated. It is situated in the summit of all the universes, of all the planetary systems. That is our supreme destination. Again, quoting Sri Upadeshamrita of Rupa Goswami, he says, Vaikunta Janitu Vara Madhupuri Tatrapi Rasotsavar Vrindaranyamudharapani Ramanat Tatrapi Govardhanaham Radhakundamihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Plavanat Radha Kuryadasya Virajitu Giritate Sevam Vivekina Kaha. That of all spiritual places, this Vaikunta is the highest. But Vaikunta is not the highest. In Vaikunta we have we have Dwarka and Ayodhya. Higher than Vaikunta is Mathura. And higher than Mathura is Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, the highest place is Govardhan. And higher than in Govardhan, the highest place is Radhakund. That is the aspiration of the highest aspiration of the devotees. So devotees should aspire to serve Sri Sri Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world, especially in Radhakund. So that's a very high aspiration. Why? Because what is happening there? What is happening there is that in Vaikunta, there is one goddess of fortune. Here in the material world, people, they really look for fortune. They work so hard. They do so many things so that they can have wealth. Without money, practically material life is useless. There is misery. Well, with money, there is also misery. But everyone is running after money, 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 sweeter than honey. I don't know how the song goes. I only know up to there. But everyone is running after money. What is money? Lakshmi. Well, in Vaikunta, there is one Lakshmi ji, she is serving the Lord. But in Golok Vrindavan, there are hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis. As Brahma says, Lakshmi Sahasrashata, Sam Brahma Sevyamanam. The Supreme Lord is smiling and he's being served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. So Prabhupada is saying in the purport, one can imagine here in the material world, if someone even has a small blessing of Lakshmiji, of Vaikuntha, then they are considered fortunate. So then it's even not imaginable for us to imagine what it is like in Golok Vrindavan, which is even much higher than Vaikuntha. So when we hear of these things, then they are reminding us of the goal of life. They remind us that the material things that we see here in this world, the temporary money that is here in this material world, the riches and opulences of this world are useless. And they cannot compare to anything in the spiritual world. So when we hear these topics, they give us detachment. They are supposed to create a sense of detachment in our hearts from this material happiness, material conditioning of this life that has come about by the three modes of material nature. The happiness that we experience here is not even happiness. Rupa Goswami says that the happiness of bhakti, it cannot compare to even the happiness of the Brahman effulgence. And he says the happiness of Brahman effulgence, it is like water in a cow's hoof print. You see, when cows walk, they leave some, their hooves, they leave some small hole, maybe unnoticeable in the ground. And then if it rains, very small water will collect on the hoof print of the cow. So he is saying that the happiness of devotional service or the opulences of devotional service are like a lake or an ocean, whereas the happiness or the opulences of the Brahman effulgence, the Brahmajyoti, which is much more than the happiness of the material world, is compared to the water that is in the cow's hoof print, insignificant. So if that is Brahman effulgence, the happiness of the situation of Brahman, then you can imagine there is no even comparison for the happiness of material things, completely insignificant. So this is supposed to create detachment in our heart, and these explanations, they are supposed to create eagerness or stimulation, udipan in us, so that we can be enthused and have the determination to really want to go back home, back to Godhead, and see Krishna, who's there beautifully smiling and glancing at us. The gopis are always looking for this smile of Krishna. In the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, one time Krishna is disappeared during the Rasa dance. And as the gopis, they were looking for him and they could not find him. So they sat at one place and they did Sankirtan. And that song they sang is called the Gopi Gita, very beautiful. In one of the verses, verse 36, that's chapter 31 of the 10th canto. They sang very beautifully. And it's very connected to today's verse. Vraja janartihan virayoshitam Nijajanasmaya dvamsanasmita Bhajasake bhavat kinkarismano Jararuhananam charudarshanam. They are praying to Krishna, oh Krishna. You destroy the suffering of all the people of Vraja. And therefore, you are the hero of all the gopis of Vrindavan. But now you have disappeared. Because you have disappeared, we cannot see your smile. We cannot see your face. We cannot see your glance. We are bereft of your darshan. Therefore, please, don't let us undergo this suffering. Show your smile to us, because your smita, your smile, it destroys the false pride of all your devotees. Nijajanas maya dvamsanas mita. Seeing the smile of the Lord will destroy the false pride of his devotees. Therefore, all of you should go to the temple tomorrow, or you should quickly go on your phones. You can see darshan there and see the smile of the Lord. In all our ISKCON temples, we have our deities of Krishna smiling. Why he's smiling? Because his smile, it can destroy your false pride and situate you back in your original identity as a servant of Krishna. And therefore they are telling Krishna, kindly accept us as your kinkaris, your maid servants, and we do not wish for anything other than your beautiful darshan, charu darshanam. So the gopis are the greatest devotees, and obviously we should follow after them, though not directly, but through their acharyas, through Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and their acharyas before them. And then we will also desire, we will feel the separation from the Lord. When that happens, we will feel, what have we been doing in this material world? Vaikuntha is so beautiful. The Lord's smile is so beautiful. His glance is so beautiful. But here I am, enamored by the pleasures of this material world, the opulence of this material world, which is insignificance. Then at that place, at that time, we will feel separation from the Lord. And when we feel this separation, we will cry like the gopis and ask the Lord to really show us his darshan, so show us his smiling face, and kill our false pride and restore our original ego as his eternal servants. So we should pray to Srila Prabhupada and to our acharyas that we can come to this state of bhakti, whereby we feel separation from the Lord, we feel separation from the spiritual world, and want to get out of this material world. And this will please Krishna very much. Prabhupada says that Krishna is very much eager, more than we can ever imagine, for us to go back home, back to Godhead. The problem is that we do not desire it. And why do we not desire it? Because we do not hear about the descriptions of the Lord. We do not hear about the descriptions of the spiritual world. And why do we not hear? Because we are busy creating offenses. So we should pray that we can spend our time, rather than blaspheming devotees, envying devotees, feeling like we should physically assault devotees, feeling unhappy when we see devotees. We should use these emotions on trying to hear and understand about the spiritual world and the Supreme Lord and desire to go back there. Otherwise, we will continue remaining here, suffering here in the material world. So we have some time left, dear devotees. I'm going to stop here. If there are any questions, comments, clarifications, they are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for this excellent class. And I liked it that you brought Shishtashtakam and then the Gopi Geet in connection with this verse. Mataji, you might have explained it, but I might have missed it. How actually will the smile destroy your pride?
Oh, the smile, it will destroy you just by Krishna. Look, like it is said, the glance of a devotee, of a pure devotee, just glance of a pure devotee, it can give you the highest perfection. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi. So Rava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. By associating with a devotee, even for 1/11th of a moment, you can achieve the highest perfection. Incomprehensible. Because the activities of the Lord and his pure devotees, we cannot understand them with our material logic. This is called Achintya Shakti. inconceivable potency. So the smile of the Lord, it also has an inconceivable potency that if He really smiles at you, then your false pride is destroyed. It's a chintia. We really can't understand it with our material logic.
Okay, I understand. Hare Krishna.
Understanding comes when you understand that you can't understand.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, that
correct.
is proper understanding. Understanding that I am not going to understand. Because it
That's
is
right.
achintya. That's our philosophy. Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva. Simultaneously one and different.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I mean, at least I have experienced that sometimes in the morning I'm starving, I'm really very hungry, and I want to really eat my breakfast so fast before even offering it to the Lord. But I force myself and I say, no, I have to offer it to the Lord first. And then once I offer it to the Lord, then I feel Nashiba. Now I don't even want to eat. I have now I'm fine. I that hunger has gone. So that I understood, but through experience. But this him smiling back at us removes the pride. That is achintya. So
Yeah. But He smiles at us after we have done devotional service, when He is pleased with us. He will smile at us when He is pleased with us. Just like you're pleased with someone, you smile at them. And by doing devotional service, can any false pride remain? Devotional service, it clears all problems. It clears all the vices in our hearts, all the problems. All false ego goes out. So even before He can show us His smile, it's all gone. And if anything is left, then by His smile, it all goes.
yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Over
Hare
to you, Murli Gopal.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for that very profound class today. And really hope that's my Lord one on us. And that can only be had through our enthusiastic and patience in devotional service. Mataji, before maybe we can, I was wondering how there's opportunity for committing aparat in spiritual world of these two great pure souls, Jen Vijay, and I was thinking maybe this is just one of the episodes of the many souls in the spiritual world. Maybe there's others that are not written, and there's that tendency to fall down or be a little bit off the track, and they commit aparat in the spiritual world. How is that possible, Mataji? Despite being
Beautiful question. I got your question. I was expecting this question. It shows you have an intelligent audience. Yeah, how is it that in the spiritual world that Jai and Vijay committed aparat? Is there envy, or is there, problems in the spiritual world that can cause you to fall down? In Bhagavad Gita, it is written, Yadgatavana nivartante. Once you go back to the spiritual world, there is no coming back here. There is no fall down again. So Jai and Vijay's case was special. They did not do it because envy got in the spiritual world, because there was an offense in the spiritual world. It happened by the will of the Supreme Lord. because he wanted to fight. He wanted to come and save Mother Earth. And therefore he created a situation. He wanted to come here in the spirit, in the material world, for the souls that are here and that are conditioned, and come and perform pastimes, such as Hiranyaksha being killed by the Lord, and Hiranyakashipu being killed by Nasimhadev. He wanted to glorify Prahlad Maharaj, his great devotee. He wanted also to enjoy Virya Ras. Virya Ras is the relationship of the Lord, is a relationship where the Lord enjoys, being chivalry. He wants to fight. He wants to go for like in the ring. So this happened by the will of the Lord. It was not by Jai and Vijay's bewilderment. There is no bewilderment that can happen in Vaikuntha. It is in Vaikuntha, not even a leaf falls. So human beings, spiritual beings, or when you go back to Vaikuntha, don't think that it can happen. You go there and you commit offenses, you fall down again. No. Yat Gatvana Nivartante. Once you go there is no fall down. But now that you are here in the material world, don't worry so much about Jai and Vijay. Worry about yourself. Jai and Vijay were here to teach you how not to commit offenses. Have you learned that lesson? You should learn that lesson and learn not to commit offenses. And because you are once in the spiritual world, now work on your way back to going to the back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada says when there is a fire on your head, you cannot be worried, how did I get fire on my head? Did someone light my head, or did I walk past a burning candle? Immediately you look for water. How can I extinguish the fire on my head? So being in the material world is like having fire on your head. You should not worry, how did the fire get there? You should worry, how can I extinguish the fire? Okay, Murari Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think it's time now. We can end the class here.
Yes. Krishna Sundari Mataji, are you able to end the session for us today? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this wonderful class today. We've learnt a lot today. Thank you. Your classes are always so practical and nectarian at the same time, giving us a lot of shiksha as well from the Shishtastakam. Okay, let us all unmute and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra once in glorification of Rasa Sundari Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Shri Gurudev
Our
ki.
praise Rasa Sundari Mataji ki jai.
Shri
All
Gurudev
glories
ki
to the assembled.
Jai.
All
Hare
glories to the assembled. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.